so important and vital to be healthy because, as we are growing, as the world is even aging, there's so many toxic things that are being thrown at us, whether it be in our foods, whether it be in just the air. And it's so important for us to be healthy. And so we have the best of the best, guys. We have Lucky with us, and he is a personal trainer and does everything fitness, everything health. So if you have any 2025 fitness goals, feel free to come in on our WhatsApp line and WhatsApp us on 081 729 1657, or even check out on our Facebook page. We are doing a live. Go into the comments and tell us what are your fitness goals. And if you have any questions regarding health, wellness, or fitness for Lucky, feel free to ask these questions because he's here right now. And we have to get it all out there. Don't do things you don't know, guys. So it's important to know those things as well. I just want to say welcome, Lucky. Thank you for being with us in studio today.
Hi, Michaela. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me. To the people listening in, hi, guys. I hope everybody's had a great New Year, and you'll continue to have a lovely year going forward. Like Michaela's already introduced me, my name is Mandilake, but formerly known as Lucky. And I am a personal trainer and group instructor also. I do work with a lot of other places, but mostly I am based at the northern side, mostly in Zone Fitness. That's where I mostly do most of my training with some of my people. So we're going to be unpacking a few things regarding the whole thing of health and wellness. And, for those listening in, you'll be, like Michaela said, you'll be welcome to, shoot whatever questions you guys have. We'll try our utmost best to get those questions answered and, to try to assist you with your journey going forward. I mean, the year's just started.
Yeah,
That's just started. So it's the perfect time to get these questions out of the way with so much things that are being said out here, with everybody on social media just going on about certain things. Don't do this, do that. So we will try to
No, that is so true.
Get you guys forward.
That is so true, Lucky, because there's so many things being thrown out on Instagram and on TikTok. What to eat, what not to eat. 1 minute you think veggies are okay, and then the next minute they tell you no, or fruit. There's too much sugar. And so it's, the fact that you are here and that you are well educated where it comes to health and wellness, and everything that you need regarding your gym, exercise and things like that. Because sometimes I know when we go to gym, we don't even know where to start, what to do. And I love the fact that you are here to tell us how to go about it from the get-go.
Alrighty. Yes, definitely. So with today's segment, we are just going to try to cover as much as we can with regards to, getting started with the entire health and wellness journey. It's not just entirely just at the gym, but overall, because certain individuals don't really prefer to go to the gym.
No, that's true.
That's again a preference thing. So for some of us, we just normally encourage a person to at least do something to get yourself active. Because at the end of the day, it's all about trying to get healthy, whether it's physically and for your own mental health, which also has to do with your physical health. But nonetheless, the aim is to try to encourage people to try and get out there. Stand up, go and do something.
Yep.
New year, new you, right?
Yes. New year, new you. Yes. So how do we get started?
Okay. So in the whole health and wellness journey, right, that people undergo, there is something we call a pre-contemplation stage. So what that is basically just before you actually make that decision to go to the gym. That's when you're still thinking about it. That's when you're still realizing, when I walk up the stairs though, it's not the same. When I take a walk, 2 blocks, and I already look around to check how far I am from the house. I'm ready to turn back. Those type of things, right? Those indicators of health issues that are impending. You see, so that's initially what we're going to try to unpack, and that's basically the start of it. That's where it all starts. That's where we all get that sad realization, and for some, it's not even about losing the weight more than it's about just general health, general health, so that you can functionally be able to do certain things with either your spouse or your kids or friends or whatever it is. Just to try to be able to be outside sometimes, to do something physically, activity, or whichever a person feels is the best for them. Because some people will prefer to play a sport with friends. Some people will prefer to go for runs. Some people will prefer to swim. Some people will prefer an actual gym. So it really comes down to what each person prefers. But at the end of the day, that's that stage we have to go through, that initial stage of, I need to do something about my health, right? We all have that, whether you really want to lose weight or you just feel like you just need to get healthier because you've had a whole lot of issues with your health, and you also you're noticing a whole lot of issues with your health. So the main thing is to try to get that stage through. Fine, you get to that stage. Now comes the second part, where you're actually thinking about it. So this is where it comes down to, what do you prefer? What do you like? So you've got all of these options to choose from, like I'd already mentioned, whether it's gym, running, swimming, sports with friends, or whichever type of activity you prefer, as long as it physically does challenge you, gets the heart rate going, burn a few calories in the process. That's initially that bit where you now considering, okay, I am now at a stage where I'm struggling with XYZ, or my fitness levels, not just with your health. It could just be fitness levels where, no man, this is not my body. This is not the fitness level I know. So I should actually try to improve on this before it becomes a problem. Or I'm struggling to play with my kids. That's a problem. I need more energy in the day to be able to keep up with these kids' energy. The problem is with fitness, it's with health. So you try to make certain and small changes so that you can actually meet those goals that you set for yourself. Which is where the next stage comes in, where you thinking to and sitting with yourself, okay, cool, I've got this problem, but now what do I do about it? What can I do about it? You are either going to decide, I prefer or I like to go running. Helps me clear my mind. At the same time, it keeps me physically active. Or, no, I like spending time with my friends. My friends and I actually had this thing going where we used to play a lot of sports, go to the tennis courts, play a bit of squash or whichever one it is. So we try, or I will try to, get that bit in again. It was a lot more fun and a lot less stressful for me.
So would you suggest someone doing something that they enjoy, whether it be, doing something at home, or actually going out and playing a sports, or actually going to gym? Would that be a form of motivation?
Yes. Look, if you're going to enjoy the whole thing that you're doing, the whole journey when it comes to your health and your wellness, there's a higher likelihood that you're not going to halfway stop with it. You're going to almost have, even on those days where you're really feeling lethargic and despondent, you're going to really have the energy to, make time for yourself and go and play whatever or do whatever it is that you'd set out to do for your now health and fitness. Then it's easier for that bit to incorporate itself onto your health, onto your day-to-day schedules. Then at a certain time, this is time for XYZ, and it's been allocated for that. So okay, stand up, go and do that bit so that you can go on about your day or whichever one it is.
Is there ever a point where you're too far gone? Like, you just think, I'm just way too fat to lose weight right now. I'm not even going to try. The fact that you're smiling.
No, it's just a matter of, there is no such thing as too late, because that's basically where you're going at. Is there such thing as it's too late for me? No, you're never too far gone. It's never too late. Each and every person, as long as you are still able to move, you can still physically get active.
So what do you do in the cases where, like we've mentioned before, TikTok and Instagram is telling you these are the best things to eat, but you are drawn between the two. You are not sure because people are saying this and others are saying that. How does one navigate through all of these things? How do you know what's right?
Okay. So initially, not everyone has access to a fitness professional.
Yeah.
So with that, I'm going to answer it in two parts.
Mm.
When you have access, when you don't have access. The first bit, we do not have access to a fitness personnel to consult with, or even to just generally just ask these general questions. So the best thing is to try to do research. Try to do research on the subject, and subjects that really, get your attention, like this now. Do your research, base it on what you've heard or whatever two sides that you've heard, right? And then see which one applies to you, because sometimes they might both be correct, and then it's just that it's a matter of which one applies to you the most, which one doesn't apply to you the most, which is why you have to do research, and then you do research based on what you know about yourself. And that's initially one of the best ways for a person to try to tackle this, because you are correct. There is quite a lot floating around.
Yeah.
Everybody's got their own opinions, and it's not to say their opinions are necessarily correct or incorrect. It's just a matter of the application for each person. Remember, we're not all the same.
Yeah.
So there are different types of bodies. There are different types of personalities. There's so much vastness in who we are that we can't just use one equation for all.
Lucky, how important is it to know your BMI? Because everyone is throwing that around like it's everyone's business, because they're like, if you know your BMI, there are many ways that you can now lose weight, because you know exactly what to eat, what not to eat, and how to go about gym or working out.
Okay. Look, first of all, BMI is a very important indicator. We cannot chuck it out, because it is an important indicator in its regard. However, there are other more detailed ways of assessing, or rather checking your general health besides the BMI. The BMI is basically like the basic generic bit of checking what your current health levels are, because it won't measure your fitness. It will check just whether you are at a healthy range, underweight, overweight, obese, or very obese. There are classes to the whole measuring system on the BMI scales, and I can't say it's not important. It is important in its regard. It's just that there are certain things and aspects that it leaves out. But readings from the BMI most of the time, they are both accurate, but at the same time, they've got a bit of a small thing missing, where it's not in detail in terms of, okay, you've got this weight and this height, which is what we use to calculate your BMI. It's just your weight and then your height.
Is it something I can do at home? Like you said, how do you do it?
So if you've got your scale, your weight scale, to measure up your weight, and you've got a tool, even if it's a tape measurer, to measure up your height, then you can use your weight times your height, or divided by your height times 2. So you multiply your height first by itself. So if you are 1.5, for example, you'll be like a 1.5 multiplied by 2, then you would get your answer. Then you take your weight and divide that by your height times 2, obviously.
And so that's how you figure out your BMI.
That's how you
Guys,
calculate your BMI.
That is so easy, and something that you can actually do at home. So, if you don't know what your BMI is, Lucky just gave you that indicator. We will probably touch on it again before we say goodbye to you all. But we are going to listen to a song quickly. And when we come back, we are going to get more into it. So, feel free to WhatsApp us with any questions regarding your health, your wellness, or your fitness goals for 2025. And that WhatsApp line is 081 729 1657. That is 081 729 1657. Or go onto our Facebook page, which is Radio K Pulpit, and you can send us a comment and tell us, what is your fitness goal for 2025, or if you have any questions regarding fitness or health or wellness. We are here to help you and definitely not to judge. Let's take a listen to He Won by Joel Niemand.
Cape Pulpit, 7 to 9 a.m. From the Word to your heart. The spiritual pulse of the Cape, wherever you are. Cape Pulpit, 7 to 9 a.m. From the Word to your heart.
It's 7 to 9 a.m. and this is Radio Cape Pulpit. And if you just tuned in right now, this is Be Real with your girl, Michaela, where we are real, open, and honest. And you know, we are blessed with the best because we have Lucky with us, who is a personal trainer and a group trainer. He does all of this with the excitement. He just loves everything got to do with wellness, with health, with just keeping his body and our bodies in shape. He loves it. And so I have just the best person to ask about any question regarding health and wellness. And I would love you guys to get involved. So if you have any questions about your 2025 gym goals or your gym body or your good looking body for summer at the end of the year or for even for spring, you know, feel free to chat to us, to send us a WhatsApp message or go onto our Facebook Live on Radio K Pulpit and you can see what is happening in studio. But you can always leave us a comment and, you know, tell us what is your 2025 body goals and what are you struggling with? Because we struggle with all of these things. If you want to do it via WhatsApp, feel free to do so on 081 729 1657. That is 081 729 1657. Tell us what is your body goals for 2025 and you know if you are struggling with any of those things, because I do too, we all struggle. Lucky is here. We have a trained professional in studio to help you with anything got to do with your health as well. And we have Nadia coming in saying, hi Michaela, thank you for always a show that is so insightful. Sorry, I'm losing my words as I go here. I love learning these things. Nadia here from Malmesbury. Hey, Nadia from Malmesbury. We love having you always. So what is your goals for 2025? What is your fitness goals for 2025? Lucky, I have a question for you. And this is a question that always sits on me on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a fast way to lose weight? Because if there is, please tell me.
Okay, cool. I love the fact that you're already laughing at yourself for asking.
That's wishful thinking.
Yes, right? So, I'm going to answer your question and say yes.
Oh, wow.
But it depends on each person. What is your idea of fast, really? What is your idea of fast, as in how much weight are you looking to lose in a short period of time? So it's a matter of how much or what you measure as fast. Also, there are a number of products out there that do assist or supposedly assist with weight management, whether it's where you want to gain or whether you want to lose or whichever one. But in this case, you're asking about the fastest one to lose weight.
Yes.
And I'm not going to go into specific in terms of what it is or what it is not. However, there are ways of losing weight fast. There is a downside to it. And I'm sure if anybody's listening, they're welcome to just, say I, if you've been through this one. You lose the weight with most of some of the products, right? However, the issue is the weight comes back on again.
That is a I.
Yes, the weight comes back on. So initially the aim is, the issue is that your metabolism stays slow. If it was an issue of metabolism staying low, it is that issue. And sometimes some people lose the weight and they don't really make any changes to their lifestyles, which is they don't change their activity levels, they don't change their eating habits. So that in turn brings it all back on again. So you need to just make sure whatever it is that you feel you were using and it sort of worked for you, fine. The only reason it might have been that it came back is because it might have been that your body was not really metabolizing nutrients as it should, or rather calories as it should. So the aim was to try to get those calories to really while they still off, or most of them are still off, you want to keep them low so that you don't regain that weight back again. So you really need to make those changes with regards to your health and with regards to initially how you're eating and your physical activity, because you are going to gain it back. As for how safe they are, that's yet another issue.
I hear you. Well, lucky we have a message that came in saying that I weigh 95, but I am looking to lose 10 Ks in 2 weeks. Do I really have to eat greens?
Well, look, if you want to lose 10 kgs in, was it 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. That's a very, I'm not going to say it's a very big ask, but that is sort of pushing the line, really, because what happens is, the reason why I'm saying I'm not going to say it's not possible or it is possible. We don't know the person's body composition. We don't know how much gas they might have accumulated. We don't know how much water they have. We don't know how much actual fat that person has. You see, so it's not to say it's not a feasible goal. It's just a matter of, at the moment, it seems a bit aggressive of a goal in a short period of time.
And what should the layout be?
So, in terms of now,
How long should they give themselves to lose that 10 Ks?
look, a reasonable amount is looking at a month and a half to 2 months. That's reasonable. That's when we're saying, okay, cool, you're not entirely setting yourself up for failure.
I hear you.
Because you have to take this on a day-to-day, week-to-week type of basis, where you're looking at, okay, cool, each and every day I'm going to try to burn, even if it's like a quarter of a kg, half a kg. And then within a space of a week, you're looking at plus minus a kg and a half lost. That's a healthy range of weight to be losing. At first, it might seem, or rather at first when you start, especially when you're eating correctly, you might find that you're actually losing a bit more.
Yeah.
And you losing quicker, because you start off losing excess water, excess stored, or rather stored up water and excess, and you're looking at losing gases also. So all of these combined, and also obviously body fat starts to go down. But these combined three things will initially make for the bigger portion, especially at the beginning. Then once you've got a lot less gases in you, a lot less excess water, then you're looking into starting to purely just burning fat most of the time. Yes, you will still have water going in and out, but that gets metabolized in and out on a regular, as long as you're keeping active. However, the person is asking now, should I eat my greens? Should I continue, or should I start eating my greens? The best answer is yes. You need to eat your greens. You need to find a balanced diet first. Balanced in terms of, it must meet your protein requirements, your carbohydrate requirements, your fat requirements, your vitamins and mineral requirements, because those are just equally as important. If you're not doing so, how will you get the energy to go through your day? So it's all about maintaining energy levels so that your insulin levels do not spike up and down. Once your insulin levels are not constant, which is where the problem partially starts.
Someone came in and asked, Lucky, what is the superfoods you can eat that kind of, how can I say, increase your metabolism to lose that weight?
Okay, when it comes to superfoods, right, I would personally say there isn't anything specific, but try to get a variety.
Okay.
A variety, whether you are going for a lot of superfoods mostly nowadays come in the forms of greens, which is initially what we just spoke about. You need to get in those greens because they are very packed with nutrients and, vitamins and minerals that you need. Those are essential for the body. So when it comes to superfoods, it really because they're not always packed with the same thing. It's just that it's a superfood because it's got a whole lot of nutrients in that one specific thing in comparison to other foods, hence the term superfood. So it's packed with nutrients, but it's not always the same type of nutrients. It's different nutrients for each type of food.
Does it help you lose weight faster?
It would initially help you to lose weight faster, yes, in comparison to eating other things. Because if you had to look at it, in order to get in an X amount of of nutrients, you'd need to probably eat plus minus 2 or 3 different types of fruits and veggies versus eating one superfood that is packed with just the
Okay,
one. There's
wow.
just all of those
Together.
nutrients together in one. So you're saving up on all the calories you would be consuming otherwise to make up those. Because the general thing about when it comes to trying to lose weight or make weight management, it's we try to keep the person in a calorie deficit. So what it means is we try to keep your calories that you consume less than the calories that you're able to burn on a daily basis.
I hear you. There is someone that came in and said, "Hey, Lucky, I have unwanted belly fat." The belly tortures us all, I must tell you. But unwanted belly fat.
Uh-huh.
What is the best gym workout to lose that weight?
Okay. It's actually a good thing that this person mentioned what is the best gym workout, not best ab exercise or best stomach exercise, because I was not going to get you a stomach exercise. You are not going to get a stomach exercise because, honestly, with all of my peers, I think we'll agree with this part. Spot reduction is a very crude and very long process of doing things. It might and might not work in most cases. If it works, it takes too long, and you don't have too long, do you? So the best gym workout to try to do, or best thing to do, is you try to do at first medium to high intensity training for yourself, with obviously a combination of enough cardio in the process and enough resistance training. So you try to combine the two, and you try to form up a high intensity workout based on these two. So you try to have cardio and strength components, which is free weights or resistance training. Then you combine them in such a way that it increases the intensity. What we mean by the intensity is we're increasing first of all, the cardiovascular threshold, meaning you have to increase the heart rate to a certain amount. So medium would obviously be an increase of a heart rate which is to the middle of the heart rate zones, not too high, but at the same time not low. So you must feel that you're exercising, you must sweat, your heart rate has to go up. Then as you get fitter, you start to increase your heart rate, and you're now going towards high intensity training, because medium heart rate, you're used to that. Now you want to challenge the heart a bit more, you want to challenge yourself a bit more, you want to try to burn as much as you can within that space of time. And with such exercises, you obviously don't need the entire day for it. Is sometimes done in a short burst, which is between 30 to 45, even an hour. 30 minutes to 45 minutes, or even an hour for those that are fitter.
What does a high intensity training look like? Or like, what is it when I go to gym and enter in the gym? Where do I first go?
Okay. So initially, when you were about to take on a high intensity workout, the first thing to do is to do your warm-ups. You can split your warm-ups into the cardio-based warm-up and then the stretches, which is where you're going to do your dynamic stretches. Try to get the body nimble, because sometimes we train in the mornings, you just slept, your body is stiff, your joints are stiff. You want to do stretches for the joints especially and the muscles to try to get them a bit more looser, get more nimble, more mobile. And then from there, once you've done your mobility stretches, you can then go on and do some cardio-based type of stretches to just get that blood flowing all over the body, the heart, going up a bit. Then you're going into, now you can either choose, some gyms have what we call a super circuit. Okay, super circuit is basically a setup of machines that requires the light and time intervals. So it's got an on for about 45 seconds and then off for 15 seconds. Then you'd follow that type of routine on all around the machines basically. So on and off. So you'd be doing a machine, and then you'd be going on to, for example, a step, a podium step, then you'd either be stepping up and down or running up and down, and then you back to the machine on the podium, back to the machine on the podium. So it's a back and forth, where on the machine you're getting your strength components in, and then on the podium, that's where you do your cardio-based type of training, whether you're walking, running, or jumping on and off, based on where your fitness levels are and what you're capable of doing, really.
I heard a lot of people tend to say that the treadmill is bad for your knees. Is that true?
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
Not necessarily. Yes, some people overdo it. There's some people overdo it, but it would be equally so when it comes to running. So treadmills being bad for your knees, I find that not necessarily the case. Treadmills are, most of the time, they've got a cushioning system that cushions impact. It is unlike running outside, where there is straight impact between you and the solid ground. So
How bad, or how important is it, I should ask, is it to have a belt with you when lifting your weights?
okay, the waist belts
Yeah.
that that you use strapping.
Yes.
Okay, those are necessary if you have a back injury or back issue. One, okay. Then the second part is if you are going to lift extremely heavy weights, then you would most likely need to use the belt, as there is a higher possibility of you pulling something out of place because of the amount of load, of excess load that you are putting on the body. So there's too much strain for it to hold its integrity. So something might pop out of place, which case it is mostly around the spinal region that we try to protect ourselves with the belt. You try to use that to keep you and your spine intact.
So, I mean, I guess it's so important for women just in general, because I'm sure they don't know exactly how much weight can their body pick up.
Yes. Look, I wouldn't say it's important more than the key thing, for a person that is fairly new to the whole thing of exercising is you don't try to go for a lot heavier weights at first. Just that you try to go for the amount of weights that you can use. But most importantly, you need to strengthen up your back muscles and your core muscles. Because if you're just going to rely on the belt, that's going to yet leave out the impending issue of your core is weak, your back muscles are weak, and your supporting muscles to all of these are also weak. So you need to do something to strengthen up those muscles first, rather. Instead of trying to get a belt, go for a lighter weight, condition those muscles, work those muscles so that they are able to do the work with you and for you, so that you don't use that belt unnecessarily and still leave out the problem still happening. Because one day you'll be at home lifting up a couch, and
it will
boom,
give.
boom.
There you got it, guys. Strengthen up those muscles first before lifting anything heavy. And the belt only comes to assist. It does not strengthen the muscles for you. So get those muscles in shape. We're going to listen to a quick song, and when we come back, we are going to ask Lucky one or two more questions. So if you have any more questions coming in, feel free to send it to us. And then we are going to say, sadly, goodbye. Because, yeah, that is about time after that. So if you have any fitness questions, feel free to WhatsApp us on 081 729 1657. That is 081 729 1657. Or you can go over to our Facebook page where you see what is happening in studio, and you can send us a comment about your fitness goals.
You're listening to Cape Pulpit, 7 to 9 a.m.
the Holy Spirit you may abound in hope.
May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace in believing, so that by the power of the Holy Spirit you may abound in hope.
The soundtrack to your life. All day, every day. Cape Pulpit, 7 to 9 a.m.
There you have it, Cape Pulpit 7 to 9 a.m. And if you just tuned in, this is Be Real with your girl, Michaela, where we are real, open, and honest. And sadly, we have come to the end of our show. We had Lucky, the personal trainer here, that will and is willing to help you with all your fitness questions and goals so that you can have that dream body for 2025. And or if you just want to, be active and get involved with the kids, but your body is not giving anymore. Well, Lucky is here to give you all that type of advice. And lucky for us, we have him. I know, play on words. Lucky for us, we have him every Saturday from 5 to 7 o'clock. You can tune in, and in that show, which is also Be Real with your girl, Lucky will be there to tell you the best things you can do to either lose the weight or get your body active and ready to spend time with the kids, no matter what age you are. So do not miss that as well. Lucky, it was a blessing to have you in show and in studio with us, and thank you for asking answering everyone's questions. Last question: what advice do you have for those who has fallen off the wagon and has given up, but still really desperately wants to lose the weight?
Okay. First of all, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Michaela, for having me. To the guys that came in and tuned in and, interacted, thank you very much for the questions. It might actually bring some light on questions that other people might have had, but, didn't have the ability to ask. So I hope I did answer all the questions to whatever satisfaction I can provide. But there's one more question that I still have to answer. Advice. What advice can I give for people who've fallen off the wagon and would like to,
Get back at it.
Okay. Guys, listen, it happens. First of all, it happens. I mean, this is not an easy journey. It is not an easy journey. And at times it might feel like it's one that's got no end. And honestly, it should not have an end. I mean, what do you mean you've stopped training? What do you mean you are done? Huh?
It was New Year's.
You're done cooking. See what? Let's show us what you've cooked. But yes, look. So we take it summer body at a time. So there are those that did not get to their summer goals because they were not able to meet their annual need for health and wellness to get.
They were cooking.
They were still cooking.
Yes.
They went to fetch ingredients or
Yes.
something. But nonetheless, it happens, guys. First of all, it happens. Don't beat yourself down over it. It happens. I myself have gone through it. It happens. However, you need to have a talk with yourself, first of all. I mean, most of the time, you convince you to do things. So I can come here and, motivate you. Go for a walk. Go for a run. Stand up. Do whatever you need to do. Go for that. But you need to be able to convince yourself also. Right? And that's the primary thing. The second part about it is get support. Get support, whether it's from family, your spouse, your loved ones, your friends, colleagues. A support system goes a long way. It's initially structure to the whole thing. It is something that holds you responsible. And this is where the next part comes in. Have a way of keeping yourself accountable and held responsible for going to the whole process, which is also where it comes with support. Because people like us, personal trainers, exercise specialists, coaches, and so forth, they are part of the support system. Because when you get to a gym facility or any type of activity, you need to at least have a rough idea of what it is that you need to do, how you are going to be doing it, and what it really requires of you, which is where we come in and, we make it a bit more easier for a person to get towards the program. Now, if you don't have anyone, then you can rather try to get a friend or get a family member to, take that walk with you.
Or they can contact you.
Yes, that's another option.
What is that number to get a hold of you, Lucky?
Okay, if anyone is interested in getting a hold of me, you are more than welcome to take my number for WhatsApp and calls. It's 072 1983628.
And say it again. Give it to us slowly.
072 1983628. That's Lucky's contact number. Save it as Lucky Personal Trainer.
Yes.
Feel free to call or you text.
Exactly. Lucky is available and he is there. So if you want any training advice or you just want to get into gym and you need the help, Lucky is available. He also drives out wherever is needed, so he can do your personal sessions with you closer to your space and where you feel most comfortable with. He does that too. Like I said before, we will have Lucky with us every Saturday from 5 to 7, which is another show that is Be Real with your girl Michaela, where we talk about more things in depth. Do not miss it out. If you want to get that summer body, it's definitely the place to tune in. And then I am also available every Monday and Friday from 12 to 1. Do not miss out on the shows because what we speak about, like Nadia said, is very insightful and inspiring. So we hope that you do not miss out on any show. Lucky, it is always a blessing to have you. And we're looking forward to hearing more of you and about you in 2025. So thank you so much. And for you guys out there, be blessed, stay blessed, and God bless.